Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Welcome one and all. Thank you so much for being here. Let's see. Fancy. Thank you so much for being here first. All right. Connie Balmer. Hey, Connie Balmer. I'm sorry, I don't have much voice. I just drank a smoothie. Gosh, that was good. Mm-mm-mm. They get better and better. Heather Stroud, hello. Thank you for being here. Um, let's see. Raymundo, let's see. Notre Dame is Future King, uh, Harry, and Meghan. Okay. Well, that would mean that the royal family had a really, really bad day if that happens. But, well, um, yeah, I'll just leave it right there. Okay. Let me see. Was I on? Yeah, I was on the wrong thumbnail, wasn't I? That was yesterday, right? And this is today. Yeah, I was on the wrong thumbnail. Okay, let's get on with it. So, we're going to do the weekly roundup, as mentioned before. By the way, is the Tony Award still on? Did Audra McDonald, did she win the Tony Awards? Are they still going on right now? Is it tonight? Oh, it's Monday. Oh, it's Monday. Okay, Tony Award 2025. See who won during Broadway's biggest night. And I see that's Monday, June the 9th. Is it? Or am I reading tomorrow's newspaper? No, because the red carpet is tonight. What am I saying? Okay, yeah, it is tonight. Oh, she didn't win? Oh, no. Okay, no wonder. Okay. Yeah, because that would have been big news if she did. Okay. That's unfortunate. Ah, they just hating. So if she didn't win, I wonder who did win. And I'm pretty sure that some people didn't really care for the host. So why are they pushing that broad on us? Why they keep pushing her on us? Huh? Why do they keep pushing her on us? It's like we cannot escape. I'm like, I don't want to see her. And yet, every place you go, there she goes. I'm like, enough already. God. Anyway, ain't she everywhere? Oh my goodness, snow? Wow. Okay, let's get on with it. Otherwise, we'll be here all night or morning. Oh, really? I don't know who that is. Let me take a look. Okay, what was she in? Let me see here. On Saturday night, Young won her second Tony Award for Best Actress in a Feature Role in a play for the show Purpose, which she played Aziza, a social worker from Harlem. The victory marked the first time that a Black performer has won a Tony Award 2 years in a row. Young has been nominated for 4 years in a row. Oh, wow. All right, I guess it was meant to be. All right. Well, good for her. Um, I hope she can host next year. I hope they'll let her host. Gosh, I just had to put on my hoodie because I'm cold. I drink that smoothie so fast. Now I'm freezing. Cold. Wow, I'm looking at her when they called her name. She was so surprised. Okay. All right. Very nice. Okay, let's get on with it then, shall we? I have been sitting here hemming and hawing for about 8 minutes. Muriel, thank you for joining us. Oh, okay. Well, bonjour to you too. Wow, what an honor that you're here. All the way from France. Uh, Thank you so much. I am deeply, deeply honored. Well, you guys, right now, I don't know if you've been watching the news, but look at this. They say that LA is in flames. It's all got to do with this ICE, and the feds are deporting people. Oh my goodness. When will this nightmare end? I don't like it. When will this nightmare end? Yeah, this is awful. Yeah, if you guys have been watching the news, um it has been really, really bad in LA. Um they have called out uh the federal troops or whatever. So, yeah. Yeah, my goodness. What a terrible thing. Okay. Hello, Reba Henderson. So yeah, that's all I have about that. I don't want to go into the details of it. It's just so terrible. Yeah, I mean, I know it's not the whole city burning. Um it's just been like a a small area. Yeah, I mean, I don't believe that the whole city is burning. And thank you for pointing that out. Thank you very much for pointing that out. It's just a little civil unrest in a small area. And well, there's an old saying in media, if it bleeds, it leads. So if there's any chance that there's any blood or whatever, then of course that's where everybody attention's turning. But Los Angeles is what, over 400 square miles, and this is what, just a few blocks out of that massive city. So yeah, Los Angeles is sprawling. In terms of land, I think it's probably the biggest city in the country, but it is massive. So when they say that it's, the it's in flames, they just mean it's a very small area. Um, and this is what, close to the detention center? Isn't that where it focuses? Is a detention center? So yeah, um, but it looks, it looks horrible. So that's why it's leading the news right now. But yeah, it probably looks worse than way worse than what it really is. I just hope nobody gets. Okay. Well, elections have consequences, Connie Balmer. Elections have consequences, and um, it's too bad a lot of people just. I don't know how they weren't paying attention the first time he was in there, and now that he's back, well, he's bolder than ever before. It's very unfortunate. Okay, off to some good news then. 3.7 million followers for the Duchess of Sussex. 3.7 million followers. And well, anyway, I'm sure that number is going to grow. But right now it's 3.7 million. That's 700,000 new followers ever since the baby mama dance. And 43 million views for the baby mama dance. 43 million views for the baby mama dance. And that is just on Instagram. So not everybody who's watched the video is going to follow, obviously. And so when you see 43 million views, just understand that that doesn't mean that that's the only time or the only way people have been able to see it is from the Instagram, because it has been duplicated so many times. And so, unfortunately, our Meg won't get the credit for every time that it's been watched in other places or viewed in other places. Now, got a little soundbite for you because the way that they have been trying to trash that video has done nothing but backfire. Um, even though they tried to make people hate it, and along with that, they wanted people to really hate Harry and Meghan, it hasn't really landed the way they thought it would. And I'll give you and now mind you, this is the Today Show, Australia, and you know they are very sarcastic or very hostile to Harry and Meghan most days. Um, but check it out. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. That didn't have any sound. Let me try it again.
Question the wisdom in releasing this to the public.
Okay, that didn't connect to my phone. Let me try that again.
Question the wisdom in releasing this to the public.
I don't know. It's just so normal.
I know. For once, I actually felt like
come on.
Meghan was relatable. A woman that I don't think most women find.
I mean, it's
that
easy
relatable.
for me to say from afar, but I would say get over yourselves. Like, you know,
What, Meghan and Harry?
No,
the UK generally.
The UK press. You know, I'm livid.
Here's the thing
I'm
that-
livid. I mean, the late Queen did used to say, "Never complain, never revive." I mean, it's not the 1800s. Come on. I mean, everyone's using social media. I just feel like we should celebrate people being themselves, and if
they want to be relevant,
like, so be it.
No.
What's next for the Sussexes?
I like them more this week. I got
Yeah.
to say. I think we have it at home that we're kind of on board with this. I would have liked to have been a fly on the wall when King Charles first laid eyes on that video. I'll never know his reaction.
Question the wisdom in releasing this to the public.
I don't know. It's just so normal.
I know. For once, I actually felt like
come on.
Meghan was relatable. A woman that I don't think most women find.
I mean, it's
that
easy
relatable.
for me to say from afar, but I would say get over yourselves. Like, you know,
What, Meghan and Harry?
No,
the UK generally.
The UK press. You know, I'm livid.
Here's the thing
I'm
that-
livid. I mean, the late Queen did used to say, "Never complain, never revive." I mean, it's not the 1800s. Come on. I mean, everyone's using social media. I just feel like we should celebrate people being themselves, and if
they want to be relevant,
like, so be it.
No.
What's next for the Sussexes?
I like them more this week. I got to
Yeah.
say. I think we have it at home that we're kind of on board with this. I would have liked to have been a fly on the wall when King Charles first laid eyes on that video.
So, as you can see, let's discuss the body language. When she began to speak first, the lady in the pink, as you can see, her palms of her hands are facing up. She's gesturing out. She's answering in a very big, broad way. And then when he spoke, he's like, I don't know. It's not the 1800s. And you can see his hands are open and facing up as if to say, come on, people, get with it. These are modern times. And of course, I don't need to tell you that is Victoria Arbiter, the one who was so upset she lost her lashes, her eyebrows, her mind. She lost her 401k. Well, at least, let's just say she lost her very well-paid position with an American network because of a prank that exposed an inconsistency with her brand of reporting. In the American media landscape, the network, the legacy network television, they had a very high standard at the time. Now things are on a decline right now because, well, legacy television is on a decline, and more people get their news, well, the way you're getting it right now, from some little two-bit grunting, belching, wheezing, laughing content creator on YouTube. Yeah, someone who would never make it on network television. And what do you know? That is where most people are getting their news from. So nearsighted, drenched in caffeine. That is where most people are getting their news from. So legacy television is going down the tube. So if she wouldn't have lost her job, they probably would have got rid of her by now anyway. Oh man. So anyway, that was rather refreshing, even though there was a couple of hints of shadiness in there. I didn't like when she said, usually most women don't relate to her. Well, I guess it depends on what women you're talking to. But you know, they're so used to being shady that they don't know how to turn it off, even when it's not even necessary for the conversation. But whatever. Now, this is Heart Mom, Kelly. Wait. Oh my goodness. You know what? What is her name? Zafin? Kelly McGee. That's the McGee part. Kelly McGee Zafin. I always forget the hyphenated part of her name. Also known as Heart Mom. If you recall, Heart Mom lost her son some time ago. I think it's been at least 2 or 3 years. Georgie, which was absolutely devastating. I mean, if it's anything that I have a very soft spot for, if there's anything that really upsets me, is when something happens to a child. I mean, that just, it stirs up all of the nurturing nature inside of me is for children. And I think she's so courageous. I think she's so strong. She's so brave, because rather than hiding and going into a deep mourning, she has mourned very publicly. And as you can see from the backdrop of the photo on the left, this is one of those fundraisers, I would imagine. And who's invited? Snoop Dogg. Yes, Snoop Dogg. When Snoop Dogg is running late, et cetera, she says there. I'm happy to see this. I'm very happy to see this. Now, all of her friends and of course her family have been very supportive through the ordeal that she's gone through. As they say, no parent wants to survive their children, regardless of the age. And there she is. And instead of really going into a shell, she has been very public, which means that her story surely has given comfort to a lot of people, given hope to a lot of people, because the worst nightmare, and she demonstrates that there really is life on the other side of it. There you go. May have had, I think that's a typo. May have had some gin, perhaps with juice. I think that's what she meant to say. But from that typo, I'm thinking, I don't think there was any juice involved. Yeah, I don't think that there's any juice involved. But yeah, anyway, Snoop Dogg was at a fundraiser, and there you go. And I saw this while I was looking at her social media, and this really touched me. If you recall, the Sussexes, well, you know, they have the trees in their garden on their estate. They have those 2 palm trees. And those palm trees, of course, represent Harry and Meghan. As a matter of fact, little Archie looked at those trees and said that that was mom and dad. Very sweet. Well, Kelly was out and she just happened to see this. And I'm like, yes, absolutely. She said, last night after graduation, I looked up and saw 4 palm trees swaying gently above me. 4. And just like that, I felt it. I'm sorry, it felt like us, all 4 of us. She also has a daughter. As 3 of us keep growing and still feel Georgie beside us. Forever 9 is hard to wrap my head around, especially as I watch Lily rise into the next chapter. Graduation was beautiful and impossibly hard. There were moments when my heart ached in ways I can't explain, when the tears came without asking and my body started to tremble. But somehow, because this community is made of something sacred and beautiful, there was always someone there holding my hand, sitting beside me, knowing without words. To the friend who followed me into the bathroom, leaving her own celebration to be with me in my moment of breaking, thank you. You held my hand, sat with me in silence, and just knew. To my best friend and her beautiful family, who made me laugh in the toughest moments, that's what love looks like. It was hard that day, an impossible day, and yet I'm proud of Lily and me for catching each other when the heaviness crept in. And when the words of the songs were too much, we caught eyes and smiled at the craziness of it all. For our little hugs and secret hand squeeze, for our car talk and our grace box, and yes, even our FU box, filled with love and righteous fire. We certainly used them both yesterday. We're learning how to use our voices when something hurts, learning that our everyone will love you the same reciprocity, and how to let go with grace. Tough cookies, I say, but soft in the center. So it seems as though she went to Lily, which is her daughter, not Meghan's. You can see the spelling. She went to Lily's graduation, and all she could think of was the fact that Georgie was not there to celebrate with them, and that the family of 4 is now a family of 3. And what's even more I guess interesting about the photo is that that little palm tree definitely represents 9-year-old George. So I guess you could say this was a bit of a sign. I guess you could say this was like a sign of Georgie saying, hey, I'm not going to get any older, but I'm definitely here with you. So I thought that was just beautiful, sad, amazing, ironic, all of those things that you can describe it. But as I said, she definitely has taken that pain and she's using it as a way to inspire other people. She's telling her story. And of course, her story is definitely somebody else's story. And she's getting on with it. If you want to read more about what her family has faced, that is the article right there. I'll just leave that up there for a second. Go ahead and take a screenshot. And well, you know what? I'll just go ahead and get the article, and I'll put the link up there so you can read about their story. But yeah, I think she has faced this in the most courageous manner. And okay. Let me find that article. Let me stop talking so I can find that. People magazine? Yeah. Anyway, that photo that you see on the right side there, that is my favorite photo of Kelly and Georgie. That is Georgie saying, Mom, I'm a big boy now. That's what I love about that photo. He's feeling all dressed up and independent. And okay. Oh, that's not the article. Or is it? Okay, you know what? I'll put this one up here. It's also in People magazine, but I'll put that one there. And I will pin it to the top of the chat, and then you could read about everything there. Okay? But yeah, I think that she has done a great job of dealing with the loss of her son. And she is very active in the community. I love that. See there? There is a group of the Hard Moms. And there's been a few occasions where they've done a fundraiser with some really, really cool t-shirts. So I follow her. I've been following her ever since I've heard her story. Okay. All right. I want to see if I can show you one of the t-shirts if I can. And I can't. Oh, well. For some reason, it's not coming up, but that's all right. All right. Well, thank you guys for taking the time to listen to that. I think she is just like one of my favorite people because of how courageous she's been. Now, we keep hearing people say that well, not people. I don't consider the Royal Rota people, but I hear over and over again, I don't care if they make money. I just don't want them using their royal access to make money. I don't want them to, they're grifting off of their royal access. The only reason why they got that contract was because of their royal access. I would say the whole royal family has profited from being in the royal family. And then on top of that, everyone within the satellite of the royal family, they also make money. Whether it's Victoria Arbiter on Australian television with that horrible high-pitched voice, or if it's the Middleton family. Yeah. Would we know James Middleton if it wasn't for Kate stalking William for 10 years? Huh? Or do I need to ask the question just like Victoria Arbiter? Huh? So I insist that if anybody's been cashing in on their royal access, it has been the Middleton family. The Middletons are the ones cashing in. I mean, that dog food looks absolutely repulsive. What is that? Marshmallows and rocks? Is that rocks and marshmallows? That's what it looks like. It looks like little pebbles and marshmallows. Or is that some of those little cotton things that that they use at the dental office, right? That looks like those little cotton things that they put in your mouth at the dental office. But yeah, we wouldn't know anything about. Well, I tell you what, though, something does not surprise me. The one thing that doesn't surprise me is that is that they like it raw dog food. Yeah, they like their dog food raw. Why doesn't that surprise me that they like it raw? I mean, you could just look and it just is, it has I like it raw written all over it. But as they say, recollections may vary. You know, I had never heard the sound of his voice before. I had never heard the sound of his voice. And now you can hear it too. Oh no, I insist. I insist. If I had to hear it, you have to hear it. Okay, you know what? You guys are so lucky. I cannot find it. Oh, you're lucky. I cannot find it. Because if I could, I was definitely going to play it for you. But I cannot find it, so you all are getting off easy today. Oh, man. Oh, well. Consider yourselves lucky I cannot find that video. Because if I could, I was going to play it. Oh, well. Or can I find it? All right, squatty or squatties. Today is obviously your lucky day. I don't see it. Yep, it's a no-go. All right. You all must have done something really good today because I cannot find it. Otherwise, I'd have to have you suffer through it just like I did. All right. So, moving on. Oh my goodness. The Sussex Soldier says, seeing how heavily the British media are propagating, be prepared to see more of Sophie and William together, more of William alone, and less of Kate and William together, as well as less of Kate until she totally disappears. You see there? Should Prince William and Duchess Sophie do more joint engagements? That's what they're asking at the Daily Express. Prince William and Princess Sophie, wild crowds rather, as they team up for rare royal double act. Or how about this one? Prince William and Duchess Sophie growing royal bond on display. Or how about Prince William has a growing bond with an unexpected royal relative? What does all of this mean? What's happening? Why all of a sudden are they bosom buddies? A double act. Why? I don't get it. What are they trying to tell us? Are we going to have to try to figure out where is Kate Middleton again? And, well, you know what? Ministry of Hacks yesterday alluded to the idea that there might be something with those two people. As he said, she seems to have kept herself in good shape over the years. And even though I'm not a huge fan of hers, I'm not a fan at all, I would say that for someone in their 60s, she looks okay. But I thought William had other tastes. I thought his taste was something a little more, I don't know, bearded. I thought his taste was a little more bearded than that. And while I'm sure that Sophie occasionally plucks a few chin hairs, or maybe she has to put a little nair on her top lip, I don't think she can grow a full beard. And until that happens, I don't think there's much to it. I mean, after all, yeah. I think she's a chin hair plucker, but I don't think she has a I don't think she has a mustache. Yeah. Well, yes. She is the aunt, and she's not a blood royal. But I mean, okay, aside from the grossness of it, let's just say this. Whatever's going on with Edward is very scrawny. And people have speculated that her husband may not be in the best of health. That's a possibility. Kate is never interested in working. So there will be occasions where William, it would probably be best served for him to go out with another royal. He certainly doesn't like to do anything with his father. Afro Annie is reducing her schedule because she's not in the best of shape ever since she got kicked in the head or whatever happened with the horse. So I don't know. Maybe they are trying to team the two of them up together just to. I don't get it. I don't understand why all of a sudden. Well, it's not all of a sudden because they've done this before, where they have teamed up the two of them. But it seems as though that they are phasing Kate out of the picture again. Um, and maybe depending on how close Kate and William are at the time, depends on how much she actually works. But everything that they do is usually a close distance to their residence. If anybody ventures out of that circle of about 14 miles, William will, but Kate rarely. Oh, good morning, Ruth C. Thank you so much for being here. No more burlap sacks. Well, again, I said yesterday, for whatever reason, they put William's auntie in Kate's tiara. And tiaras have been a staple of Kate's wardrobe. We have not seen Kate in a tiara in about 2 years. I think it's been about 2 years. Ever since I think perhaps she has worn a tiara once since the coronation. And actually, since before the coronation, because remember, she was wearing a headdress, like a bridal headdress for the coronation. It was not actually a tiara, and it definitely was not from the royal collection. It was made from crystal. So I don't know what all that means, but I'd like to know. I am just that nosy. Now, take a look there. They need to help Prince William issue urgent. Okay, they need our help, rather. Prince William issues urgent call to protect world's oceans. Now, William said that the oceans are disappearing before our very eyes. And I don't know if the way that it was written was, I didn't actually hear the speech, but there were a lot of people in the comments laughing at him, saying that if the oceans are rising, how are the oceans depleting? Can they both deplete and rise at the same time? It got so bad that I Am Sage noticed that they turned the comments off. This very important speech that was supposed to be a big moment for William turned into something very critical of William. And so, in order to avoid embarrassment, they turned off the comments. Yep, they turned off the comments. Take a look there. ITV, Twitter, the comments section is blank. See where the arrows are? See how it looks ghostly? That's because the comments have been turned off. They don't want people to comment on Willie. What do you say about that? My. Let's see here. Oh, the homelessness and Middle East peace mission are already accomplished, or do you consider empty platitudes to be a result? I'm looking at their Twitter for Kensington Royal, and I figured if they turned off the comments at ITV, surely the comments on Kensington Royal are on, and they are. And well, anyway, people are not being very nice. So statesmanlike and elegantly dressed, Prince William brought together. Okay, that's a praising one. Thank goodness there are still. Nope, that's not good. Actually, there's not a lot of comments here. Oh my God, this is rich. I don't think I could ever share this one, but I'm going to keep it. Okay. All right. That's enough of that. Let me go back to over here. Now, they're trying to big him up. This whole weekend is about raising William's profile. And you know why they're doing this? Is because Harry went to China. So they wanted William to go to Monaco and to put on his I'm a Global Statesman act. And anyway, they had him pose for photos with Macron. Who else is in the picture? Oh, Albert II, Prince Albert of Monaco. And I cannot think of who else was in the photo. But anyway, it was like 4 of them. And so he's really feeling good about himself. He gave a speech, which was kind of hard to follow. Word salad, if you ask me. But let's see, when Prince William, says something, the world listens. When he says something, the world listens. It's as though GB News got their talking points directly from the palace. And then, of course, you see there, Royal Butler Grant Harold highlights the significance of Prince William's upcoming speech at the Blue Economy and Finance Forum, where he will call for more to be done to protect the world's oceans, not the homeless in the UK and otherwise, not to help people afford food, right? Or to provide jobs. And he can't even give a discount on the rentals on his vast estate. Those are things that he could easily serve as the Prince of Wales. But instead, he goes to Monaco so he can pose with world leaders. And I think the only way he was able to do that, because, he's not there representing the crown. You all know that. Charles probably did not grant him permission to go, but this is about the environment. It's not about policy. So that's probably why he was able to take that trip. William, labeled as David Attenborough's sorcerer's apprentice, he has to be so careful. I don't know who that old man there on the right side is, but God, I cannot stand him. William spends a lot of time with David Attenborough because he wants people to associate environment, sustainability, and David Attenborough and William. He wants you to see David Attenborough and see William as his worthy successor. That is the whole purpose of that, which is why he's always anxious to be photographed with people, because that is something that is very typical of the royals, is that they love to take credit for other people's work. That is the whole point of calling people to Buckingham Palace. That's the whole point of the honor system, is to bask in someone else's glory, and hopefully some of that stardust is going to land on them too. So, very typical. And of course, GB News used the term global statesman because their talking points came directly from Kensington Palace. So this is like a big rollout for William. Okay. And well, what do you know? He took his favorite beard with him. Jason Knopf made the trip to Monaco. Yes, Jason, the one who has been so manipulative and shady and outright deceptive, in my opinion, in regards to everything to do with the Sussexes, the one who just went on the Australian 60 Minutes to try to reduce the momentum of Meghan's stellar 2025 season. That Jason Knopf. The only reason why he went on Australian television is because they knew Meghan was really going to rise to new heights in 2025. So they dispatched, Lucifer, and had him go out there and try to slow the momentum. It didn't work, by the way. I don't know how popular 60 Minutes Australia is in the UK or any place else in the English speaking world. I don't know how popular it is in Canada, but in the United States, we have our own 60 Minutes. As a matter of fact, we have the original 60 Minutes. So I don't think many people paid much attention to it, aside from the monarchists that spend time online. I doubt if anybody noticed it. Just like there's a select audience for Thomas Markle Sr., for Scamantha and Thomas Markle Jr., there's a select audience for the likes of Jason Knopf. Hey, what are you doing with Camilla's picture for your profile? Why do you have Camilla's picture for your profile? How dare you? How dare you? You have the Queen's Consort's photo for your profile. And I think that that is very inappropriate. I am going to complain. As a matter of fact, I think I should sound the alarm. That's what I'm going to do. I am going to sound the alarm. And the palace is going to be so grateful for the fact that I did that. So sorry, Mashar, I'm going to have to turn you in. You know why I'm stalling, right? I'm going to have to turn you in. I am going to have to sound the alarm. Oh, Lord, where is the alarm? I say I'm going to have to sound the alarm. Where's the alarm? Oh, there it is. You ready for the alarm? Yep, looks just like her, especially around the mouth. Looks just like her. Sorry about that, but I had to sound the alarm. You know what? When I looked at that picture the first time, I looked at her mouth and I thought about those foghorns that they have like on those old tugboats. You ever see those foghorns where they have that little piece cut out of the pipe and it's like flat at the bottom and rounded on the top? When I saw that picture, I'm just like, God, she looked like one of those old foghorns. My. Look at that. Oh, well. I look at that and I say, are you sure that's who you wanted to marry? I mean, you're rich. You could have anybody you want. Yep. Oh, well. Woo! All right. And then of course, there was a whole lot of banter back and forth. And by the way, notice that Jason Knopf is wearing one of those lanyards. You notice William doesn't have one because the VIPs, as a royal, of course, he doesn't wear one. But the help, since he brought the help with him, the help is wearing one. The staff person is wearing one. I did not notice. I did not notice that. Let me take a look. I want to notice it. Let me take a look. Okay, you know what it is that on my let me see. Yes, I see it. I see it. I love it. Okay, let me see. Let me see what I could do with that. Oh my gosh, I love it. Thank you so much for that. All right, let me share that with the group. There you go. Charles. 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 Yes, I can see the resemblance. Absolutely, I see it. Thank you so much for that, Marshar. The only difference is the queen consort, they say she doesn't smoke anymore. Oh, thank you so much for that. I love it. Oh, I hope that doesn't give anybody nightmares. And you know what? I hope that doesn't give anybody nightmares. Either one is pretty scary. Well, all I can say is they're a perfect match for each other. Devious, shady. I guess they both like beards. They're a perfect match for each other. They're the best of friends. And with friends like that, who needs divorce court? But yeah, that is a reimagined image of the two of them in Monaco on their holiday. I'm surprised that William doesn't take Jason skiing. Okay, you guys. All the times Meghan has been the real copy Kate revealed, outrageous style twinning moments uncover the Duchess's uncanny transformation from red carpet ready to rip off regal. Now, I want you to take a very careful look at those outfits. We'll go from left to right. Kate and Meghan are both wearing Roland Moray. Kate is wearing that Wickstead or whatever she's wearing dress, the one that tries to hide the fact that she doesn't have hips. And then Meghan is wearing something very different. Number one, there's no sleeves. Number two, the fabric is completely different. The only thing that they have in common is the color. The same with the tan suit. Kate doesn't have the courage, nor does she really have the body to wear something loose fitting like Meghan is wearing. Meghan is wearing a button-down shirt, and Kate is just wearing a basic shell. I don't see what is supposed to be identical about those two looks, other than the color. And then, of course, on the right side there, Meghan is wearing heels, high heels, with her jeans down to the floor. Kate looks like she's at a rodeo, which I think she really is at a rodeo. Aside from the fact that they're both wearing button-down shirts, and, I don't think that Meghan was going for the Western look. I think it's her basic white shirt and denim, which is something she has worn time and time again. As a matter of fact, if you look at Meghan's photo, you can see that that was long before the royal family. The blue dress, that was long before the royal family. Now, here's the other two outfits. That pattern on Kate's coat, as well as Meghan's top, is so common. They're not actually identical. As you can see, Meghan's is not really the same color. Meghan's has more of a earthy tone to it, as well as the fact that it has those horizontal bands are more pronounced. They are not identical. Meghan is wearing a top. Kate is wearing a coat. Same as on the right side there. In this instance, Kate is wearing a coat dress. Meghan is wearing a very long coat. They have gone out of their way to try to merge these looks into the same. The closest case to be made is probably the denim and the white shirts. That's it. But not really a case, because they don't give you the date when Meghan actually wore the white shirt and the denim. We don't know how long ago. I mean, after all, Meghan doesn't age as rapidly, so we don't know whether that was right out of high school or last week. Compared to Kate, we know that that was around 2012, 2013, whenever they took their trip across the US. That's when that photo was taken. So I don't see where the comparison is. Where's the comparison besides the colors or the patterns? And if you look at the comments, I love the comment section, because that is where you get some of the best truth bombs. Okay. It says, Meghan looks so much better than Kate does in similar outfits. Kate always looks stressed out, uncomfortable, and unhappy Despite her contrived smile and laughs, Meghan always looks relaxed and happy. And of course, sorry, but these comparisons are really clutching at straws. Jeans and shirt combo is a common outfit choice across the globe. Blue coat versus blue dress is just the same color, otherwise totally different outfits. This is not a story. This is not a story. This is clickbait. Clickbait. Now, I love this. And of course, I am being totally biased, just like the British tabloid media. I have curated comments that helps to make the case, like the first one. Everyone is talking about Meghan with her video and pictures from Disneyland, and on cue, the Daily Mail and royal family's personal PR writes pro-Kate and attack Meghan articles. The problem is that Kate is lazy. She rarely does anything noteworthy, lacks character, and is passionate about nothing. All we can talk about regarding Kate is the clothes she wears. She's basically a clothes horse. She's produced an heir and 2 spares, and now she's obsolete. Obsolete Kate. Unnecessary. Just there to giggle and toss her hair around. Other than that, she serves no purpose for the mission of the monarchy. She's done. Done. Okay. The next one says, but you conveniently omit that many of those outfits Katie copied from Queen Mary of Denmark and Princess Diana. Also, Katie's very, very rarely wore pants before Meghan came into the picture and started wearing them. Then all of a sudden, Katie started wearing them religiously. Meghan is Chanel. Kate is the clearance bin. The Daily Mail is clearly confused. As I recall, Meghan Markle wore quite a few of those items first, with Kate following later. But that's not really the point. It's just another hate-filled article meant to feed their rabid base. Revisionist history and quite laughable. Meghan was attacked for wearing pantsuits when Kate was dressing in flowery old-fashioned dresses. In fact, she wore a brown monochrome pantsuit in 2022 Invictus way before Kate. Nice try. So there you have it. Again, I curated the comments that best served my own point of view. And then I want you to take a look at this Roland Mouret outfit again. It would be really interesting to point this out if I didn't know better. But since I do know better, and as Dr. Maya Angelou would say, when you know better, you do better. But they're not going to do better, even though they know better. And if I was Kate Middleton, I wouldn't ever wear this dress again. I would never wear this dress again. It does not suit her. Kate has changed or metamorphosed or something, but it just does not suit her. I'm sorry, but Meghan looks more attractive in that kind of an outfit. You know, girly, feminine, pretty. And then there's Kate. I will say no more. I will say no more. You come to your own conclusions. But I just think that it looks more appropriate for Meghan, even though Meghan is wearing a jumpsuit and Kate is wearing a gown. Other than the colors and, of course, the top, I don't know how they're dressed alike. I don't know how. But yeah, I get it. The colors. The colors. You know, for a minute there, I thought that was James Middleton. I'm just saying. I thought it was James Middleton. I said, no, I already talked about him. That is Roland Moray with Meghan in 2016, long before the royal wedding. This was, 2 years before the royal wedding. If Meghan is hanging out with Roland back then, that means that she probably has been wearing his dresses long before Kate Middleton. It seems as though they're very good friends. They have been together on more than one occasion. You might even say that Meghan is one of his muses. Maybe she's been like a muse to him. But whatever their connection is, I would just say that his clothing, it complements Meghan more so than Kate. That's all. I don't mean to be cruel, but it's just a difference in how those outfits are worn. And so if they want to do comparisons, then I want to help them do comparisons. And so right now I'm doing a comparison. And like I said, if I was Kate, I would never wear that outfit again. Ever. That's all. Let's see. Leg says, who wore it best? Inflatable man, windsock, or or Kate? Yes, your windsock stays on my mind. The windsock. Where is the windsock? There it is. There it is, the windsock. In case you all didn't know, that's what they call those things down at the service station. The windsock. They always have that comical face, and they just kind of dance around, and you know, their hands are always flailing. You know, that they do the jazz hands and everything. So easy to confuse them. But thank you very much, Legs. But like they said, nice try. That was a nice try. That they have tried to gaslight us into believing that Meghan is the copycat. No, Kate is the copycat, not Meghan. You have to really do some stretching to make these outfits identical, really, especially when it comes to the plaid or the tartan. Those fabrics, not fabrics, but the pattern is so common. It's so common. How do you decide, you know? And also, let me add one more thing. Right after Meghan wore that long coat, it wasn't long after that that Kate showed up wearing a long coat, virtually identical to the one that Meghan is wearing. And look at Meghan with the crossbody bag. Now, Kate hasn't gotten the courage to do that yet. I don't think I've ever seen her with a crossbody. But then again, what would you put across her body? Huh? What would you put across her body? I don't know if they make a bag that is designed to go across the What would you put across her body? You'd have to go down to Home Depot or Lowe's to find something to put across her body. I don't know what kind of bag that any of the designers make that is designed to go across her body. I don't know of one. Cross who? For what? With what? Okay. So at this point, let's do our roundup. Gosh, I'm way behind. Okay. So this was yesterday. We're going to do all 7 days. I'm going to try to get through it. I'm not going to do a whole lot of extra. So I think I'm going to be on for like another hour. I'm going to try to keep it down to just one more hour. But that was yesterday, as ever. And of course, between this, I don't know. I'm going to say the dance was the biggest part of the week, the baby mama dance. This is the second. This was the second. And I hate saying that because it was Lily's birthday. And this is not Lily's birthday. This is celebrating both Lily and Archie's birthday. I don't think it's just for Lily. I think it's for both children. But okay, we'll just call it Lily's birthday. Whatever you want to call it, this was the highlight, the second biggest highlight of the week. The first, of course, the best part of the week was the baby mama dance. I think that is going to carry us for a month. We got commentary from her, and there were no leaks. And that is important, is that Harry and Meghan went to the Magic Kingdom, and there were no leaks. Now, people have told me that in all likelihood, it was because of VIP hours. But even with that, you would have thought that some rogue employee may have risked it all, but that did not happen. They were able to go. And if I'm correct, I think they spent 2 days there and nobody was the wiser. So win-win. And of course, those beautiful outfits that our Lily Diana wore. I think the popsicle dress is still my favorite. Let me see. And as you can see, for the Sunday papers, it looks like Lily's birthday outing, or Archie and Lily's birthday outing won the day. But of course, they were still talking about the baby mama dance. And of course, one of the things that was featured was Meghan's photo at the beach. This guy right here, you know what? I know I said I'm not going to linger, but we have to hear him again. He was so good. You guys, I cannot pass him up. I cannot pass him up. That's how good he was. Not good, great. Great. So just to say we did, let's do it. This guy is amazing. Okay, ready for it?
They don't believe people can be kind without a hidden agenda. They don't believe in joy unless it's drenched in sarcasm.
Uh-oh, it's buffering. Sorry.
They don't believe people can be kind without a hidden agenda. They don't believe in joy unless it's drenched in sarcasm. They walk through life with this gray, cynical filter over everything. And when they see someone like Meghan, who's bright, hopeful, audacious enough to heal out loud, it triggers something in them because it reminds them of a version of themselves they were taught to suppress. She's not fake, she's free. And bitter people, they don't know what to do with someone who's free. Now, contrast that with people who love Meghan. These are people who are actively working on themselves, who want to grow, who want to be happy. They journal, they go to therapy. They actually believe in evolving and breaking generational curses. They see Meghan not as perfect, but as someone trying to live honestly, to protect her peace, to be joyful, even if it makes others uncomfortable. You know what's truly insufferable? Walking around with that much unprocessed resentment that someone else's happiness feels like a personal attack. That's what Meghan haters are really carrying. So the next time someone calls her insufferable, ask yourself, is she really insufferable? Or are they just too bitter seeing someone living unbothered? Sometimes I can't stand her is just code for she makes me feel small and I don't know why.
Oh, that is my favorite part right there. She makes me feel small and I don't know why. Oh, how can you squeeze so much into just, how long is that video? 1 minute, 18 seconds. How do you squeeze that much into 1 minute, 18 seconds? The notorious JTB. Yeah. How do you squeeze that much into 1 minute and 18 seconds? I don't know, but he really brought it home. I am going to have to say a big amen to that. Lit for Sussex. Somebody has chosen war today. Someone has woke up and chosen war. I love it. Thank you. And of course, there was, oh, you know what? I got to play this one too. There was this moment. Sorry, I got to play that one too.
It's their right to live as they choose. Other people don't have to like it. Other people might cringe and think, well,
I'm sorry, it keeps buffering. Let me try it again. Okay, it keeps buffering, and that's not good.
it's their right to live as they choose. Other people don't have to like it. Other people might cringe and think, well, I wouldn't do that. That's totally fine. But it's also totally fine for them to show, you know, moments where, yeah, they're joyful. And that's just kind of really human. And, they, you know, bear in mind, they've kind of come out of a kind of an industry, if you like, that's very impersonal and kind of dehumanizing in many ways. And so,
By which you mean the royal family?
yes,
Right.
you know, and everything that entails, the kind of whole industry, all the speculation being written about and judged and condemned by all sorts of different people, you know, that's massive.
And also writing a book yourself in which you judge and condemn your entire family and then selling it.
Well, then that comes down to who's got the right to tell their own story. You know, does the person, the individual, have their right to say their own truth, their own story, or does that not belong to them, but it does belong to everybody else? You know, it's their right to live as they choose. other people don't have to like it. Other people might cringe and think, well, I wouldn't do that. And that's totally fine. It's there.
Okay. And that's the other thing, is that it's their right to it comes down to who has the right to tell their story. And I get so frustrated because I try to make that point with people that say that Harry and Meghan are overexposed, that all they do is talk about this or that. They don't. That is the press. That is the derangers. It's not Harry and Meghan. Everything seems amplified because other people are doing the talking. But when they speak out or speak up about their situation, about their lives, then all of a sudden they're saying too much. It's not too much when other people say it. It's only too much when Harry and Meghan says it. Well, let me see. We talked about this already pretty much. As I mentioned, it's very unusual that she's wearing Kate's tiara. And it does seem like that means Kate is being phased out. But how is the big question. But if I was, that Sophie person, I would do whatever I could to get out of Kate's shadow, because otherwise everything says that she will almost be like a lady in waiting to Kate. I mean, virtually that's what she is. She's a royal in her own right. She married into the family just like Kate. Matter of fact, she was there first, wasn't she? But the big problem for her is that she has the misfortune, that is, of being of lower rank. And so essentially she's going to have to walk in Kate's footsteps. And as you see on the left side, she's going to be having those sad looks on her face while everybody celebrates Kate. They're going to look over Sophie because she's just not that important to the institution. But if she plays the cards right, who knows? Maybe she can elevate her status. Maybe she has a plan. But still, I don't think there'll ever come a day when most people in the world recognize her or even know what her name is. Well, just like her husband, she's not meant to be upfront. She doesn't have the upfront look. Okay, let's see. Oh, yeah, this was interesting when they said that, let me see, even the blind man can see that Willie and Kate Macbeth are patiently waiting for King Charles to die. I may not be a fan of Pa, but I hope he lives to be 110. He better post a guard at his bedroom door and employ a food taster while he's at it. You know who I think would be a great food taster? Sophie. Sophie would be a great food taster. King Charles' cancer is incurable, but they said here that his cancer is manageable and that in all likelihood, Charles will probably die from old age or something else besides the cancer. That's what they said, is that it's manageable. So I don't know what that means. They still won't say what type of cancer it is. But there's Sophie groveling at Charles' footstep, by Charles' feet, rather. There she is groveling. Like I said, she intends to get what she wants out of this. And I think what she wants is for the Edinburgh title to become permanent and that her son will inherit the title. But as things stand, that is not going to happen unless something changes. It would take a letter patent from Charles, or in the future, a letter patent from William. Otherwise, it has already been signed into law, or at least into the royal patent. If that is a law? I guess it is. But that title goes back to the crown. It does not stay in the family. You think it has something to do with the necklace, the missing necklace? But then again, one begs the question, where is Kate Middleton? As we all have learned, she enjoys being out in the woods. She enjoys nature. And chances are, if we can't find her, they're going to have to send out a search party or something. But she's probably out in the woods somewhere. Where is Kate Middleton? She's rubbing up against the tree. Let me see. Toothless Unwashed against Harry and Meghan will go down as one of the biggest own goals in history. This evil lot thought they could unleash the worst racism and misogyny and walk away unscathed. Instead, they will forever be defined by their evil acts. You tell it, Zandy. Fresh Prince of Montecito. Let me see. What was this about? Oh, yeah. Graham Smith, who, of course, is a Republican, a British Republican, which means he's against the monarchy. He wants to get rid of the monarchy. Even he is a bit baffled by this obsession with Harry and Meghan, by this daily dose of controversy, unnecessary attacks on the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. Now, there was a time when he himself seemed to have an end for the Sussexes until the Sussex squad pointed out to him that Harry and Meghan aren't over there anymore. So why are you dragging them into things? And of course, the other thing, and I forget what it was, but he actually had the wrong information. He had misrepresented the actual facts when he was being critical of the Sussexes. So he had made a mistake. And understanding the errors of his way, I think it had something to do with money that Harry had already paid back, or something that the Sussexes did not owe. I can't remember what it was, but he had made a terrible error. But anyway, he said, I don't hold a candle for any royal, of course, but it's extraordinary to watch the continued obsession of the right-wing press with Harry and Meghan. It deserves some serious psychological analysis. I agree with that. Okay, keep it moving, keep it moving. And then he also pointed out the exploitation of young kids for royal PR is shameful. That group of kids were waving those flags like they had just had a Mountain Dew, a Red Bull, a Snicker bar, and anything else that would kind of charge you up. That's what it seemed like. They were like, yay, with those flags. It was scary, very scary. Not My King. He also informed us that June the 14th is the next time that they're getting together to protest. That's right, June the 14th. That is the Troop in the Color Day. It's also the day when Meghan goes to her gala, where she is going to be, celebrated because of her work with, was it with women? I think it's because of, or is it because of her philanthropy? Either way, that is coming up on the 14th. So Big day for Charles and a big day for the Duchess of Sussex. And let's hope that Harry will be in attendance. We don't know yet, but let's hope that Harry is there. They don't always go to each other's events, so we'll see. Breaking news. Local Republic activists in Hexham have told Camilla that it's time to abolish the monarchy. Yes, Camilla was shouted at when she was in Hexham. Charles' rush diagnosis of cancer was a cover for the true cause of Katie's hospitalization. I still find it very suspicious that that institution would announce 2 royal surgeries within 40 minutes of each other. That never made sense. I could understand if they had an emergency, but according to them, these were not emergencies. But yet on the same day, both royal households made big announcements. And of course, we all know the story about how from the 28th of December 2023 until 172 days later, we did not see any proof that Kate was even still alive. We didn't see 2 of the kids until Trooping the Color in 2024. So thank you for reminding us about that it is very, very suspect that those announcements were made the way that they were made. And that, of course, first they were not cancer, either one of them. And then later on, they both, guess what? They both have cancer. The only thing is they won't tell us what kind of cancer. Still very suspicious. Oh, I hope so, Lydia. I hope so. Oh, if somebody would just tell the truth. But I think that a lot of the press was in the dark. They seemed to want them to, they were trying to coerce them into giving us more information because I think they were uncertain about what was going on. But I don't believe that all of them were in the dark. There's got to be someone or several of them who knows exactly what happened. I have nothing else to add about that. Okay, that wasn't bad. See how fast I got through that? Let's go to the June the 6th. June the 6th. And this was the day when we found out about Disney. Yes, this was our Disney day. Which, of course, I am going to play the video. Let me play the video, the Disney video. Got to play the Disney video. All right. Love that. Disney with Prince Harry and the kids, Archie and Lily. Yes, they did that. Very cool. Oh, I think this was when we found out that Clever Blend is at Whole Foods. I guess that was new this week. But anyway, I'm glad for that because it doesn't seem like there's many people shopping at Target these days. And since that happens to be the case, I'm glad that Clever Blend is also in Whole Foods. So if you're trying to avoid shopping at one place and would like another option, there is Whole Foods. Harry and Meghan consider Spencer's surname as Palace blocked their children's passport. Well, we found out that I had dismissed it. I didn't even look at the article because I thought it was fake news. But because of a delay in the children's passport, Harry and Meghan were hoping to circumvent the palace by going directly, like any other citizen, to the website or the app for passports and just using the Spencer name instead of Sussex so that they could expedite the matter. And miraculously, when they realized that Harry was serious and that this might end up in court, what happened? Suddenly they get the passports, but it was delayed for what was it, 3 months? Or was it 6 months? Yeah, it was 6 months. It took them to get the passports that most UK citizens are able to receive within 3 weeks. That is not right. Let's see. Monarchy's future depends on the obliteration. Yeah, if you recall, the obliteration of the royal. But anyway, I don't want to bother with that. So here's the other thing we found out is that it was said, it has been alleged that the reason why they had to go through that trouble was because Charles just did not want any official recognition of the Sussex children's status as HRH. They did not want the truth to come out in writing, in print, on official stationery document, or even on the website anywhere. And I did not know. I did not know. I thought that Archie and Lily were prince and princess, but I had no idea that they had the official HRH. Now, someone decided to correct me about that. Like I said, I wasn't sure. I'm not surprised, but I wasn't sure because I thought maybe that was something that had to be bestowed upon them by the monarch. I didn't know that it also included HRH. Now, the tabloids were the first to refer to them as prince and princess, understanding the George V letter patent, where it defined the future of the monarchy and who has what title changes upon the death of the sovereign. All of that, I think most of us was aware of, but I just wasn't sure that that carried over because if it was up to Charles, you know it would not have happened. Charles did not even want them to have the title prince and princess. And so if you remember, if memory serves me, should I say, it wasn't until Lilibeth's christening when Harry and Meghan, for the very first time, referred to her as Princess Lilibeth Diana. Before that, it was not used by anybody except for the tabloids. But Meghan was very forward about everything on the Oprah interview, that they did not want those kids to have those titles. Yeah, they did not want those kids to have those titles. So, okay. So I'm glad to know that the HRH is intact and that, you know, they were not at the Sandringham Summit, so they could refer to themselves as HRH all they want to, because, well, they're not involved in commerce or trade, are they? And just think about it. Had they accepted the half in, half out, and I'm speaking about the royal family, not Harry and Meghan, they offered them half in, half out, the palace would have say over everything they do. I'm not saying that Harry and Meghan would follow it, but if there was a conflict in scheduling, if there was something that they deemed would be, I guess, not worthy of their status or something to that effect, they would probably be able to pick up the phone and say, "Can you please not do that?" And Harry and Meghan would be obliged to listen or consider it, right? But since they refused to half in, half out, there will be no phone calls. They pretty much are on their own. So they should have took the offer while it was on the table. Okay, so Meghan in the Oprah interview said that in due course the children should be HRH, Prince and Princess, but Charles was looking to change the rule. Yeah, that was a very public thing. That was a very public thing. And I do believe that that discussion started. Did it start before Oprah? I'm trying to remember, because I thought it was the press that started leaking the notion that the children may not have a title. And that may have been what sounded the alarm for the Sussexes, is the fact that the press was briefing. Well, actually, they were briefing the press, and the press was leaking it. But I cannot remember if it came before or after the Oprah interview. But I thought I heard some murmurings about it before the Oprah interview. Okay, it started before Archie was born. I kind of thought so. I kind of thought it started before Archie's birth. And then when it really reached the summit was on the Oprah interview. Ah. And you know what? You know what, Lex? By them saying that, it's just like a press release from William and Harry. Harry don't know nothing about it, but yet the press is saying that this is a press release from the two brothers. So I guess they were thinking that they were going to press release the titles, that they didn't want the titles. They'll just say it. And of course, Harry and Meghan, being the dutiful son and daughter-in-law, would just go right along with it. And that didn't happen. Meghan was like, "Oh, hell to the no. We're going to fight about this one." I love the way Meghan stood up for her children. I love the way Harry has stood up for his children. And standing up means leaving the country. Standing up means, going on the Oprah Winfrey interview. And it turns out that Meghan was the one who kind of put the brakes on. Harry was ready to tell everything. Just like when Harry sat down with the BBC, he said exactly what he felt. And if it wasn't for Meghan, that Oprah interview could have really gone south for the royal family. Meghan was the one who put the brakes on. Meghan was slowly tapping the brakes, and Harry was like, You know what? I saw that. And then he walked it back today. Did you notice that he walked it back? Yeah, Professor Wilson walked it back today. Professor Wilson said today that people misunderstood what he was saying. You know what? I think I heard Professor Wilson loud and clear the first time. Um, I I don't know if I believe that he really wanted Harry to abdicate, but just saying the word, just introducing that topic, I think is going too far. But yeah, it seemed like he tried to walk it back. And you know what, guys? I'm going to tell you, when it comes to Professor Wilson, if you jump knee deep into his behind, if you hang a foot in his butt, okay, you hang a foot in his butt, and you notice how all of a sudden he has a change of heart. He does listen. He does listen. I do think that far too often he goes along with the royal whatnot. Well, he goes with the tabloid talking points. He goes with the tabloid talking points. But after the Sussex squad gets through tearing him a new one, all of a sudden his disposition changes a bit. I understood what he said. He also knows Harry can't abdicate, only monarchs can. Exactly. And everybody knows Harry's not going to do that. Harry is a royalist. Harry is a monarchist. Harry believes in monarchy. Harry is very optimistic about the monarchy. I don't blame him for that because it is a very, very big platform. And it would be hypocritical for Harry to, I guess, speak ill of the monarchy itself, not the monarch, but the monarchy, because that has been the source of everything in his life. If it wasn't for the monarchy, there would probably be no Harry. There could not be a Harry. The circumstances of his birth has made him who he is. So it would be nonsensical to deny that part of yourself. But it is a very big platform. And if used properly, you can do some amazing things with it. And I believe that Harry sees it as a misused resource, an untapped resource that is capable of amazing things. But in the hands of indecisive, petty Charles and rude, ignorant, angry Willie, is kind of like a waste of space. It doesn't have any chance to demonstrate good. But I believe that Harry sees it as something that is capable of great things. And I have to say, any platform that you have where you can get people to listen to you is a great thing. But the problem is, are you going to do great things with it? Or are you just going to use it to make yourself important? That's a big difference. Are you using it for yourself, or are you using it for the greater good? But thank you, Hazel Jones. He needs YouTube, buddy. So if an opinion threatens his coins, he changes his tune. Okay, I'll buy that. I'll buy that. But whatever it is, I'm telling you, if you if you speak to him, he does start singing from a different hymn book. Okay, so cruel they have any othering of them. Yeah, I don't accept othering of any children. I just don't like that, especially for children. That really bothers me. I don't like a child feeling as though there are limitations to what's possible in their lives. You know, let them grow older and become adults and experience life as an adult. But as a kid, anything should be possible. Anything should be possible for kids. And othering the Sussex children, no. I mean, I don't even want anyone to other the Cambridge kids. They don't deserve that either. No child deserves to be othered. It's 2025. Do not other children. Okay, so let me see. We talked about this where she gave the definition of privacy where the Sussexes is concerned, so I'm not going to bother with that one. Kate suddenly had a private meeting a private meeting after Meghan's twerking video. I guess they were speaking too much Meghan and not enough Kate. Kate has been absent this week anyway, and we don't know when Kate is going to return. But Kensington Palace must have gotten into a bit of a panic and decided, well, we got to get her name out there some way. So here you can see Kensington Palace courtiers have had the Duchess of Sussex's pregnant dancing video on repeat since she posted it yesterday. I know they all have stress headaches. They planned everything so carefully, sending Prince William out to jazz hand his way through an Army Corps appearance on Little Biff Diana's birthday. But it wasn't enough. People are still talking about that dang video. So the courtiers were like, hey, maybe we should send out the Princess of Wales for a surprise event we can throw together in a few hours. They text Kate, but she texts back, no, and continued rubbing herself on a tree as she does every day for hours. So they were like, hey, let's just say she had a private meeting, which is the same thing that happened while she was, disappeared. Remember when they said that Kate was going to work from home and that Kate would do some light work throughout the day and that Kate took a meeting one day? There was no proof, no evidence, or anything that says that Kate spoke to anyone. But that is what we were told. The reason I don't believe it to be true is because why would you tell us? Why would you tell us? You could just discreetly list that as part of her diary to be discussed at another time. But instead, they had to make a big deal out of it. That's why I don't believe it happened. I don't believe it happened then, and I don't believe it happened now. My question, if Kate is absolutely positively in Windsor as they insist, why isn't she joining her husband at the agricultural show tomorrow? Why are they making the Duchess of Edinburgh attend the Royal Cornwall show with William? Anyway, I'm shocked that Kate is doing something with the Center for Early Childhood, given her new focus on nature. Meanwhile, the royalists are trying to say Kate would never try to twerk a baby out like it's some kind of slam on Meghan. So far, everybody seems to like it. They thought it was fun, they thought it was funny, they thought it was cute, and they thought it was relatable. It is just a handful of people that's trying to make it into something else. Like Camilla Tominey. Camilla Tominey, who appears to be a truck stop waitress in this outfit she got from Tamu. I mean, when she bought that outfit and she put it on, she thought it was the end all be all. Ooh, she thought she was really causing it. Yes, that she thought this microphone was a she thought this outfit was a microphone drop. Stop the music. Camilla Tominey's in the room. Oh, look at her. Have you ever seen anybody lounge on lawn furniture like that? I never have. Oh, look at that. She got the little short boots on. She got the zipper on the front of her skirt. God knows why. I don't think I've ever seen her standing up. I don't think I've ever seen it. Usually she's in a seated position. She's behind a desk. But this confirms something that I've always assumed, that she has one of the biggest heads outside of Stonehenge. She has the largest head outside of Stonehenge. I didn't know it for sure. I just had a feeling, I had a hunch that her head was abnormally large. And now I'm sure of it. She must be a very smart person because there is so much more room for brain cells than anybody I've ever known. Huge, huge, massive. It's almost like, I would say at least 30%, 30 or 35% of her height. You got to minus the heels now. About 35% of her height is her head. Yeah, 35% of her height is her head. If she was a normal person, she'd be about 6 inches shorter. It's shocking. It is absolutely shocking. I've never seen the likes of it. And she is totally, totally obsessed with Meghan. And a liar. And just an all-around strange person. What was that movie with Dolly Parton? Something about Texas. That's what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about Texas, Dolly Parton, and then that's what these pictures remind me of, is Dolly Parton and Texas. I just cannot remember the name of that movie. Anyway, I'm going to move on. I don't want to spend too much time here. So we were speaking about cringe, right? What's cringeworthy? What makes a person cringe? Which, by the way, Camilla Tominey said that she would never, in her wildest days of pregnancy, she would have never twerked. Right? And so the headlines have been the cringeworthy Duchess, the Duchess of Cringe, as though the royals have never done anything that in some people's opinion would be cringeworthy. Right? Are you serious? I mean, who told Kate to go on holiday and to go sunbathing, to do topless sunbathing. Who told her to do that? And then, of course, all these peekaboo dresses that she's worn over the years, as though she could not help. She just, oh, the wind took it. The wind took it. And this is just daytime stuff. If you think about Kate in the back of a black cab, it gets even hairier. Yeah, no pun intended. Anyway, I forgot why I put Diana's picture up there, but anyway, good to see her. All right, let's go to the 5th. The 5th. This is when the whole cringe started, when they were saying things were cringy. By the way, we have exceeded the $25,000 fundraiser, and it has been raised to a higher number. I think is, what is it, 35,000 now? So they are still taking donations. So if you are inclined, they are still taking donations. We talked about the Spencer name change. We talked about that. Oh, yes, June 5th, one of Church Nelly's favorite holidays. It was Moonshine Day, the National Moonshine Day. And that is one of Church Nelly's moonshine holders. That's the only good book that she ever takes to church. And of course, the business that Church Nelly started in 2024, Menopausal Moonshine Minis. Oh, you know, I almost forgot about this. Hallelujah. Now we can all relax because look who is receiving their knighthood. It only took about 10 years and a 4-letter word that started with the letter C for him to get it. But he's got it. And he didn't even have to offend people with a 4-letter word to get it. This time it just took a lot of time and a lot of boot licking, but eventually he got there. He got there. What movie is that, Reba Henderson? I can't remember the title. I guess I don't know. I'm just gonna hunch my shoulders and say, Oh, what's that? It's true. What you're saying. When I saw her standing in the morning show, I was surprised. She Woo! I know. It's shocking. It is shocking. I mean, she is a human bobblehead. She is a human bobblehead. I was just like, Camilla Tomini? I was so surprised. It was just, it's shocking. And if that's the way she looks on telly, could you imagine what it's like to see her in person? Could you imagine being an unsuspected member of the public and you see all these famous people and then there's Camilla Tomini? Nobody warned you or anything. And next thing you know, she's just like right there. What prepares you for it? And you know who I think about all the time is poor John Cleese, the actor John Cleese. Could you imagine what he must have been thinking in this moment? I mean, there he is trying to do a very serious and sober interview. And then there's this huge distraction as he sits across from Camilla Tominey. I mean, look at him. Look at his face. He's not sure what to make of it. Right now, in his mind, he's trying to understand how did I miss that? He's trying to understand how did I yeah, poor John Cleese. He didn't know. How could he know? How could he know? It just kind of slipped by. Okay. All right. Bend it like Beckham. He's getting his knighthood. We can all relax. People were wondering what was Charles' reaction to the baby dance video. Well, there you go, right there. That was his reaction. Kind of like the reaction we all had when they unveiled that painting of Charles and Godzilla. Remember our reaction when they unveiled that painting? This painting. Yeah. So I think that was the same reaction from the day we were all forced to look at that painting of Charles, that very red painting. Did you guys like my little remix? I remixed that myself. Anyway, moving on. And just so you know, it set off a tidal wave of people posting the baby mama dance videos where women across the world who had that horrible wait for what do you call it, for the labor. They were waiting to go into labor, and they were trying to induce labor, and so they did the baby mama's dance. Didn't know it was such a big deal until Meghan, of course, and now it has been revised, and something from years ago has come back again. Types of royalist headaches: migraine, hypertension, stress, seeing Harry and Meghan happy. That is the worst headache of them all for royalists, monarchists, derangers. Waste of time. Waste of time. Will and Kate, waste of time. This is cringy. All of this was very cringy. All of the herbal essence, Summer Eve material that they put out there to try to convince us that they are so close to each other, that was cringy. I mean, they say that the Sussexes are cringy. Well, what about Willie and Kate? What about Willie doing this dance on that ski trip? Or what about Willie shaking his moneymaker when they went on the Caribbean tour. Huh? That was cringy. And the ski trip, it was so cringy. Look at this lady's reaction. One of them just had to look down at the floor. The other one is looking to the camera like, can you believe this crap? William has done a lot of cringe-worthy things. He's had so many cringe-worthy moments, whether it's the abnormal closeness to his equerry, his stretching routine, or those super tight Speedos, all of which seems to be a bit. And then what about this cringy moment where he digs his nails into his brother-in-law's back? Or no, is that his brother-in-law? That would be, yeah, his cousin's back. Yeah, look at him digging it. I mean, I'm glad to see members of my family, extended and otherwise, but I don't know that I've ever just like dug my nails into their back. That seems rather odd. What was the occasion? Had something happened? Did you just notice each other for the first time? Well, I mean, for such a big country, what is it, almost 2 billion people in China, I could imagine it to be true, but I don't know for certain. And then what about the cringy appearance of William running? Just William running is cringy. You see that? When William runs, he kind of looks like a crime scene, right? Both he and Kate both bend their bodies in these very odd forms, but William is even worse because he looks just like a chalk outline on a crime scene. Every time I see a chalk outline, I picture William running for his life. And then the cringy moment that he met P. Diddy. Or was he Puff Daddy back then? But either way, they tried to project this thing about Harry and P. Diddy, which only caused us to flood the internet with images of Willie and Diddy. Willie and Diddy. And what about when William went to that senior pensioner center and he made some crude joke about somebody touching his butt amongst all those elderly people? He made some crude joke about somebody touching his butt. Or how about the aubergine scandal? This was on BBC of all places, and they asked him what your favorite emoji was. And he said, is this a family-friendly show? Or, because normally I would say aubergine, but they told me not to say that, or eggplant. And I think that they thought this was going to be a viral moment and everybody would laugh and everybody would see how relatable Willie could possibly be. Or this was supposed to be a viral moment and everybody could see how relatable they are. But instead, both were just kind of crude and a bit nasty, gross, very gross, unnecessarily gross. And then this one, a movie about being assaulted. And what does he do? He asked them, did you have fun making it? It must have been a bucket of, what is it? A barrel of laughs making this movie. And the girls are like, oh, what? Meaning, of course, he didn't do his homework. He didn't even actually look at the movie. The president of BAFTA did not watch one of the nominated films. Very smooth, Willie, very smooth. Throwing his mother under the bus and accusing her of being paranoid, cringy. Dressing up like colonizers to go to Jamaica the Caribbean tour, dressed up like colonizers in 2020. What was it? 2022? Cringy. Leering over children like some kind of slasher movie. Cringy. And the obsession with Kate touching his butt. Cringy. 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 And of course, which brings me to something that I was informed about by one of the squatties, and that is, you know what a Knopf is in German? Now, I know what a Jason Knopf is, but I didn't know that there was a word in German, Knopf. This is a German word for knob. Everybody can use it if he or she wants. Yes, and I'm sure everyone has. Cringy. Cringy. Mooning the world is the most interesting thing Kate Middleton has ever done. Of course, in college, she used to throw her butt out the window every time they heard boys coming up the street. And then if that's not enough, when she became the princess, when she became the Duchess of Cambridge, what did she do? She wore dresses that would blow over her head every time the breeze would come around. And everybody could see that she was wearing a thong. That was tacky. It'd be different if it happened once. It'd be different if it happened twice. But for Kate, it was a matter of routine. Cringe. Running off of your private fuel-guzzling jet, leaving your pregnant wife at the top of the steps. Cringe. 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 Yelling at innocent passerby people on your estate, which is open to the public. You're in a public place. You see a couple of people walking, and you declare that they're trying to take the pictures of your kids. Nothing ever came of it because there was nothing to it. But William was frothing at the mouth with rage, calling his security people, all kind of stuff. They took the video off of the internet, so it's kind of hard to find, but I have a copy. Cringe. I won't even say what's cringy about that, but you could easily see it. And then here on the right side, Prince William has been called an imperialist colonizer after blaming African populations' growth for wildlife loss. Really? Considering Africa is, one of the least densely populated places on Earth? Interesting. Very colonizer of you. Laughing about a global pandemic, saying that everybody panics when people cough. Well, that was before millions of people died, but I guess now we know better. It was dangerous. Cringe. Okay, so that takes care of, what day was that? The 5th, now the 4th. We're going to blow right through these. Happy birthday, Lilybeth. This is the first day of the twerk. Remember, it was on Lilybeth's birthday. This woman could barely contain herself. Well, whatever people thought in the beginning, the video was a huge success. And of course, the birthday photos that were released for Lilybeth. The one on the right is new. And let me see. This one is new. We've never seen this one before. And of course, this one. We've never seen that one or this one. So 1, 2, 3, 4 new photos, including the one on the right side. The popsicle dress That is one of my favorites. Love that. That's what she's wearing on the photo. Oh, yeah. At this point, actually, from long ago, I'm judging anyone for low IQ who thinks the Daily Mail is a reputable or even half reliable source of information on either Prince Harry or Duchess Meghan Sussex. They are staffed by a bunch of deranged holes that hang out in under a burner account in forums of Meghan haters and often take their ideas from headlines from them. P.S. That's actually true. And we do know that the Royal Rota has burner accounts. But yeah, they don't know what's happening with Meghan's jam. Let me see. What was this? Oh, yeah, the report. White Britons will be a minority in the UK within 40 years. Yep, they say that white Britons will be a minority. You know, they've been saying the same thing about the US, and things haven't changed that much. These are headlines designed to scare people, to create apathy and anger toward anyone who immigrates. And of course, people of color. Oh yeah, I almost forgot this happened. This female impersonator impersonated the Queen of, is it Norway? I think it's Norway. And well, anyway, almost 50 years ago, he appeared at some event and gave a rose to Queen, is it Sophie? And she showed up to return the favor. This is one of those shows like This Is Your Life where they talk about all of his accomplishments. Well, she wore the same dress, similar to the one here. He had a copy of her yellow dress that she wore 50 years ago, almost 50 years ago. So he's wearing a yellow dress here, right? So she decided to get the actual dress to come out and greet him. And as you can see, she said, "You've made a lot of people laugh. Thank you for entertaining so many people," something to that effect. And Queen Sylvia, not Sophie, Sylvia. Oh, thank you, Hazel Jones. I didn't see that. Yeah, so that was fun. I didn't know this person even exists, but now I do. And there she is wearing that yellow dress some 50 years ago. And people have actually made the comment about how similar that is to Afro Annie, and that Princess Anne loves to wear some of her favorite pieces from 50 years ago. So that is pretty cool. Great story. Didn't know that person was even existed, but now I do, and I thought it was pretty cool. Queen Sylvia of Sweden honors drag queen Christer Lindar, who has been imitating her for 50 years. "I want to thank you for your kindness. You made everyone laugh. Now it's like I would like to give you a rose from one queen to another." I love that. From one queen to another. Love that. Okay, wow. I went through, what day was that? That was the 4th. Let's do the 3rd. We're getting there, you guys. We are getting there. And of course, the 3rd and the 2nd. Okay, got 2 more days to go. And we'll be done with the roundup, the 3rd and the 2nd. So this is June 3rd. Queen Tina Knowles, her book, Meghan Markle, to be honored at LA Natural History Museum Gala. All the details. Okay. Los Angeles County's Night of Wonder Gala, June 14th. The garden theme event highlights the Duchess of Sussex's work empowering women and underserved community. Meghan and Prince Harry are stepping out more, building new connections in Los Angeles. Well, anyway, that's neither here nor there, that last part. But yeah, so it's going to be pretty exciting. Garden-inspired evening at the Natural History Museum. Exposition Park location will include remarks from Meghan, who's being recognized for her work championing women in underserved communities, a mission that mirrors the museum's push to make science and nature more accessible across LA. Okay, very cool. Next. Yep, next. Head over to As Ever to be the first to know. If you haven't done it yet, Meghan says go over to asever.com and register your email because there are some new products coming out this month. I repeat, there's going to be another product drop this month. Meghan's already said go and put your email in. So if you're not already registered, do it if you're interested in buying anything, because after all, there's going to be some new products as well as some of our favorites. So they are stockpiling everything because it's all going to go in the same day. But yeah, do it. If you have not done so, go over to asever.com. Or if you're on Instagram, you can go to Instagram and go to Meghan's Instagram, and you can connect from there. Let me see here. With Love, summer release. June gloom. Oh yeah, that's the message that she had with the photo. June gloom, not over here, because this month your favorite products are back. Sign up to find out details and timing. So, where are we at? Today is the 9th. So we still got about 20 days left this month to find out what's coming down the pike. It's going to be exciting, you guys. Don't miss it. Have your credit cards ready. As ever. To all who've been wondering and waiting, thank you. Your favorites are returning, plus a few new things. We can't wait to show you coming this month. Get excited. Ooh, I'm excited. I am excited. I'm so excited that I just can't hide it. I'm about to lose control and I think I want to. What is this? Prince Harry will join more than 500 industry leaders at the FHS Africa Future Hospitality and Investment Summit in Cape Town, South Africa, from June the 17th to the 19th. So it appears as though Harry is going to South Africa this month, and that should not conflict at all with Meghan's schedule. So, let's look forward to that. We don't know if the Duchess of Sussex is going, but I think it's only going to be Harry because he's going to be away from Montecito for a few days, and I don't think Meghan is going to go since it's not an event that involves both of them. So I don't think Meghan's going to go, but let's keep our fingers crossed. Anytime we can see our Duchess is a good thing. Tina knows sacred business tips and how Meghan Sussex plans to use them. Well, as you know, Miss Tina, was on the podcast, and it was fantastic. I felt so much warmth from the two of them just bonding and connecting with each other. It was incredible. I don't know. I felt I felt like it just felt like family. It really felt like family. I don't know how else to put it, but Tina Knowles has a way of just disarming any preconceived notions about who she is, and you just realize that she is totally 100% down to earth. There's nothing pretentious about her, and once you get to know her, you just cannot help but love her. So that was very, very cool. I could really listen to that one all over again. And also, the book was #1 on the New York Times bestseller list, something that she never dreamed of, but she was very happy about it. So go, Tina. Scotty's Little Soldiers. What was this about? Oh, yeah. Prince Harry's personal letter to ex-Special Forces Everest record breakers. So some people went to Mount Everest. There was a letter that was written by Prince Harry. So Prince Harry sends a personal letter to a team of volunteers who completed a record-breaking Everest challenge. I've not only conquered Everest, you've not only conquered Everest, you brought attention to the sacrifices of our armed forces in a way few others could. Well done, lads. All the best, Prince Harry. You've changed. We're supposed to. I don't think I need to add anything to that, do I? Okay, 1 day left. You guys, we are in the home stretch. 1 day left. Don't ask my neighbor. Come to me. Don't be afraid of what you see. You find I love you. Come to me. Don't be afraid. Remember that song? I don't know, for some reason, I thought that would be a perfect name for that video. Don't ask my neighbor. Oh, that was my jam back in the day. Used to love that song. The Emotions. Don't ask my neighbor. You're wondering if I care about you. Is there some cause that I should doubt you? I know. Okay. The subtle and sometimes not so subtle ways Meghan Markle and Prince Harry repeatedly turned the spotlight on themselves to create Sussex distractions. But for some royal observers, this is hard to believe. It seems that whenever King Charles and Prince William make headlines for royal engagements or celebration, the Sussexes appear with their own news. You know what that's called? That is called, we're not accepting a what was that they called it? In and out, part-time royal. They didn't want to accept that. They said no half in, no half out. That means that Harry and Meghan do not need to consider what's happening across the pond before they schedule something. They don't have to pay any attention to it because there was no half in, no half out. You didn't want it, so don't cry because nobody's paying attention to Charles and Willie. You didn't want it, you didn't want it. So Harry and Meghan, they got to go on with their business. They got life to live. They got stuff to do. So Don't ask my neighbor. Oh, I can see, boy, that you don't know me very well. You're so unsure. Run to me. Don't ask my neighbors. Okay. Oh, you got some emotions? All right. Oh, is that their names? Wanda, Sheila, and Pamela? Pamela? I don't think I've ever knew their names. But don't ask my neighbors. I forgot why I named this video Don't Ask My Neighbors. There's Sandringham. Showdown at Sandringham. Royal return of Duke of Sussex. An intriguing idea, but zero prospect in reality. The palace mood music is that Sandringham Summit red lines drawn by Queen remains set in stone. Oh, I know why I said don't ask my neighbor. I know why. It's because of that guy. Remember that guy? I'll show you in a minute. Let me see. Oh, yeah. One of the squaddies wrote, Sandringham Summit, Channel 5. This was about that TV show, Sandringham Summit. That's why I was talking about it. What we've learned, but already knew, Willie is always angry. Willie used to getting his own way. Willie has always had yes men pandering to his every need. He didn't like losing his scapegoat. Harry was stitched up. Harry has always been right. So that's all we learned from the Sandringham Summit thing that they had on Channel 5. Piers Morgan and Prince. Okay, don't need that. Oh, yeah. Well, okay, I'm not going to get into that article, but it just kind of points out how William and Camilla, they're not really partners in crime, but they understand each other. And they both understand that you have to be ruthless if you want to have good press. Keep Montecito. Keep calm. No leaks in Montecito. Here we go. This is what I said about don't ask my neighbor. This asshole with that red hat on, he's the one that the press keeps going to every time they want to quote a neighbor of Harry and Meghan's. But this guy has a very, very English accent. So whatever he says, he's not a native born person from Montecito, Santa Barbara, or even California. He is a transplant. He worked in the tabloid media. He still writes, but his early years was the Daily Mail, the Mirror, the Express. And so even if he does live in the area, I think it is very disingenuous to pretend as though he's a neighbor and not just some old newspaper hack, which is what he is. He's a newspaper guy. And he's also a big time monarchist. So there's no way you're going to get any type of objective conversation about the Sussexes. There's not going to be any pretense of neutrality. He's a monarchist. And he even says, Harry seems to be rather nice, but Meghan, I've never seen her, and she doesn't seem to have any place in the community. She doesn't even try. If you haven't met her, how do you know? And if you're basing this on gossip, second, third, and fourth hand information, not good enough. And he's been doing this for years, Meghan's not an asset to Montecito. Neighbor tells new documentary, Duchess doesn't really get out or get involved with elite Californian community, but quite jolly Harry has to a certain extent. Ugh. And this, he had a little sit-down interview even before they were married. They weren't even married yet. And he was already talking about Harry and Meghan. He's had it in for Meghan from day one. Look at this. New neighbors. I don't understand the title, New Neighbors. They were speculating that Harry and Meghan would spend time in California. They didn't even know where Harry and Meghan would live. And already they were saying that he was a neighbor. How is that possible? They didn't even know where they would live. So this is January 2019. 2019 is the date of the article. Harry and Meghan didn't leave until 2020. But this article was about Harry and Meghan moving to North America, living in Canada, and they were speculating that they would possibly spend time in California. So this guy, they have a headline saying that he's a neighbor, even though Harry and Meghan didn't even know that house exists, let alone that they would buy it and move into it. I just, there's something weird about that article. I don't get it, but I don't know. It doesn't make sense. Yeah, time traveler. Time traveler. I mean, that article from, what is it again? January 16th, 2019. After unexpected announcement by Prince Harry and his former actress wife Meghan that they were quitting public life, how do they have January 16th, 2019? They didn't leave until 2020. I don't know. And there he is on Fox News. That was back in 2021. This was after the Oprah interview. So this guy has been commenting as an insider, as a tabloid media journalist for a very long time. Anyway, I'm not going to get started with that again, but if Republic is successful, this is what the balcony is going to look like forever. If they ever abolish the monarchy, that will be the future of the balcony of Buckingham Palace. That's the future right there. Once the palace is turned into a museum, maybe on occasions they will have whoever is the prime minister or president or whatever come out on the balcony, but it won't be it won't be the Windsors if they ever abolish the monarchy. And at the rate they're going, it's going to happen. Okay, and I think this is what we're ending with, is Downton Abbey. There's a new Downton Abbey movie. It appears as though they are leaving the house. I think that is the end of the road for Downton Abbey, is that the house is going to be sold or something. But the time has come to say goodbye, Downton Abbey. I think the Crawleys are leaving the house, but that's not going to come out until I think September. Anyway, I can't wait. And these are some photos that I took on my visit to Highclere Castle, also known as Downton Abbey. And there I am looking like a proper country squire, an English gentleman in the countryside. I could see myself living in Highclere Castle. And then take a look there on the right side. There is a very rare image of Highclere Castle. You never see the back of the house. The house was designed for you to only see the two sides of the house. You're not meant to see the rear of the house or the other side because to save money, they faced the house with just regular, plain old fashioned bricks. It would have cost a fortune because the details of the house, if you notice, the house has a lot of rich details, um, lots of carved stone. It's actually not an English Gothic style. It is very much an Italian Renaissance Gothic style. Very Italian Renaissance Gothic. And it also resembles the Palace of Westminster. Is that what they call it? Yeah. It also looks like the Palace of Westminster. Same architects, I believe. But yeah, the house would cost so much more if they had faced the entire property. So they grew those trees on that side so that you don't get the idea of going over there. And then, of course, the back of the house looks like this. You're not supposed to see it. They used some very clever landscaping to conceal the unsightly part of the house. And I must be a weirdo because the two things that I wanted to see on that tour was the servants' quarters and the back of the house. I was very curious to know what it looked like. It doesn't look like what you see on television. That was actually not recorded at Highclere. This is the actual back of the house. Ran into Camilla. I was so surprised. I saw the Queen Consort. And there on the right side, that is the bench that you have seen on Downton Abbey time and time again. I actually sat there myself, but quite often in the series, you'll see people go for a walk and then they sit on the bench and have a conversation or something like that. Well, that bench happens to be a real thing. It is actually there. And when you go and visit, you can sit on it. Now you can see it rained and there's a bit of mud splashed on it. But yeah, that's there. And when you go through the house, I mean, you see everything that you see on television. There's another image of the back of the house. There's a gift shop and I think a cafe. I think there's a cafe inside. So if you're hungry, I do think they serve food inside of the house there. The original kitchen no longer exists. The kitchen that you see on television, that is a reproduction. The kitchen is now the gift shop. The kitchen is now the gift shop. So you won't see the original kitchen. What's that? You didn't say how good looking you are. Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. Let me see. You know, I wish I could share some actual real music with you guys. I guess I could. I just couldn't monetize the video, but I would love to do that. I would love to do that. Okay, this is the hospital on the Downton Abbey. It used to be a post office, but now it is a visitor center. It is in a town called Bampton. So the Ripon, let me see, on the television show, they call it Ripon, or no, is it the town of Grantham? And Ripon is another town? Well, anyway, Grantham, the town of Grantham, I think they call it, does not exist. It is actually Bampton. And I believe that is Church Road because the church is very nearby. There's a church. I mean, you could literally walk from the church to this visitor center. They're like right next to each other. And there's a picture from inside the church. The church is like 900 years old, something like that. It has been rebuilt. They have added on to the existing church. And look, there is a sarcophagus right there under that table. Now, I didn't try to peek inside of it, but I would be very interested to know. But yes, there's a sarcophagus there. And God knows how many people are buried in the floors. You know that happens. St. Mary the Virgin, Bampton, the Diocese of Oxford. And there is the poor box. One of my favorite things to do is to make a donation to the poor box, because when you travel to most places in this world, when you go to a house of worship, and that includes a church or cathedral, basilica, they don't charge you money to get inside. Usually they don't. And for that reason, I think it's only fair that you put some money in the poor box. Throw a couple of euros, a couple of pounds, throw a couple of dollars in there and contribute to the building. Any donations toward the upkeep of our church is gratefully received. Thank you. And you know what happens? When you do that, all of a sudden, other people start reaching into their pockets. Thank you, Miss Z. That is the, what do they call that? A font where they do the baptisms? Anyway, that's what that is. And that face that you see, God only knows how old that is, but that's actually holding up the roof. That is, let me see if you can see it here. Oh, you can't see it. Oh, yeah, you can see on the right side and on the left side. See where the dark wooden roof is, a ceiling? And then you see those dark things hanging down where the weight of it is actually on top of some of those things that were sticking out like that. So that's what that is. They have like this column that goes up to the wood, and the weight of it goes on that little decorative end piece. And that is Mrs. Crowley's house. Matthew's mother on Downton Abbey. Remember Matthew's mother? Well, that is where Mrs. Crowley lived. That is where Matthew and his mother lived when they were first invited to come to the Grantham estate. That is where they lived. And the house is right next to the church. The house is right there. All of that is like just a short walk away. They make it seem like the town is bigger on television, but it's really not. And when you're on the tour, they ask you very nicely, do not go and peer over the wall. Do not go and try to peek into their garden and all that kind of stuff. Don't embarrass us is what they really mean. But yeah, that was very interesting to see Mrs. Crowley's house. And this is one of the buildings in town that is hundreds of years old, and they have used it as a restaurant. It has been a hotel. It has been this, it has been that. All of the buildings in town have been used for various reasons, and very quiet town, and they're very used to visitors. So if you ever go there, like any place else, just try to be very respectful and don't go peeking into people's windows. Downton Abbey, Bordeaux. I actually bought some wine that said Downton Abbey, and I drank it too. And some friend of mine purchased a Downton Abbey coffee cup for me, which conveniently comes in a gift box. And that is the end. Thank you all very much. We have done a review of the past 7 days, and we're going to do it again next week. Hopefully it won't be 3 hours long, but we will do it again next week. We'll do our roundup. I kind of like it because I actually kind of forget about stuff. I do. By the time I get to like the 3rd day back, I'm like, oh yeah, that did happen this week. All right. Anyway, you guys, I'm not going to linger. Thank you all so much. It has been a pleasure. And as I have said so many times, thank you all for trusting me to do this work. That means a lot to me, more than anything else, more than your likes, your shares, your subscriptions, your memberships. That trust means more than anything. Oh, really? I'm so glad to hear that. I like to think of myself as a pseudo historian. I like history. I like architecture. And learning about other cultures. I enjoy that kind of stuff. Well, maybe one of these days I'll share some of the photos I took at the Castle Howard or Blenheim. Blenheim. I went to Blenheim as well. And I did go to what's that place? That house that Charles has in Scotland. Not Highgrove, the other one. You know, with all the Chippendale furniture. I could only take pictures on the estate. They wouldn't allow photos on the inside. Gosh, what the hell is the name of that house? I can't believe I can't remember. Something house. I think Lydia went to sleep, right? I don't blame her. I think she went to sleep already. Gosh, what is the name of that house? I even remember the town. I just don't remember the name. Dumfries House. Thank you. It's in Cumnock, Scotland. But I could not remember the name Dumfries House to save my life. But I did go there. And oh my God, it was great. I did not see Charles. I did not see Godzilla. But I did have to look at some of Charles' watercolors. They were actually very nice. But he does some watercolor painting. And One of the most surreal moments was just being at the house. But the other thing that really, really shocked and surprised me. Okay. Let me find the photo. 1 second. Okay. It was very, very surreal. Now, if I can describe this to you without being too dramatic. So I was walking around Dumfries' house. It was a guided tour. There's a tour guide, and then there's someone who follows the group to make sure that everybody stays together for obvious reasons, right? And I have to say, being in that space after seeing it on television exceeded every expectation that I could possibly have at that point. But then I looked across the room and I saw a painting, and the painting was just sitting on an easel, like the artist had just painted it, but it was in a frame. And I kept looking at that painting. I said, gosh, that looks familiar. Wow, that looks familiar. I know I've seen that somewhere. And this is the painting, this one right here. That's the painting. Do you know that the tour guide said that that was a painting by so-and-so of John Brown and Queen Victoria, and it is on loan from so-and-so? I said, well, I'll be damned. That is that painting. The painting was not behind glass. The painting was not hanging on the wall. I could have, if I was a crazy person, I could have literally have plopped down as hard as I could on a genuine Chippendale wingback chair. I probably would have broke the hell out of it. But when you take the tour, there are no ropes. There are no ropes. King Charles, who at the time was Prince Charles, he said that he wanted people to tour the house as though they lived there. So you are literally walking on top of a carpet, on top of a rug that is older than the United States. But the thing is, they put runners on the rugs so that you would not step on the actual carpet itself. Very clever. They had a company print runners that were identical to the pattern of the carpeting or of the rugs. These rugs that were as old as almost as old as the house, because every piece of furniture in the house was made for the Dumfries house, custom made by Chippendale, as in Thomas Chippendale, the cabinet maker, furniture maker. That's what makes the house so special. They have over 60 pieces of original, genuine Chippendale furniture. And it's not on display. It's not behind ropes. You literally can walk through as though you're walking through your own living room. And I began to get very anxious because I'm just like, well, what if somebody fell? What if somebody fainted and fell into a $12 million china cabinet? Now what? You know, that's how I was feeling. I'm just like, we shouldn't be this close to this very expensive stuff. But they trust you. They trust you. They assume that if you have flown 8.5 hours from Chicago, and then taking a train up to Glasgow, and then taking another train to Cumnock, and then take a taxi to the Dumfries estate, that you're not there to make trouble. All right, if you say so. But it was beautiful. The house is like a time capsule. The house is frozen in time. Aside from getting rid of any oil lamps and candles and replacing it with, the electric bulb. And of course, they still have a few candles here and there. But aside from that, the house pretty much operates like it did, 300 years ago or whatever. Yeah. Very special, a very special place. And I saw it on television and I wanted to go there, and I did. And it exceeded my expectations. So if you want to see the most complete house of its kind, that is the one. That one is the one that will exceed every expectation. I'm trying to see when the house was built. The present house was built in the 1750s. Yeah, the 1750s. And the gardens are beautiful. When I share the photos, I'll show you the gardens. The gardens are absolutely beautiful. Wow, and the house reopened. Let me see. The house reopened in 2008, equipped for public tours. Wow. Anyway, so that's that, you guys. Oh, thank you, Cookies and Cream. Oh, thank you, Connie Balmer. Oh, thank you so much for that. Yes, you guys, there are still squatties that need your prayers. So make sure that you pray for everyone who is struggling with illness, and just in general, anybody who's struggling with grief. Okay, I'm done, everyone. I'm just looking at a few of your comments. Thank you, Ingrid Soares. Good night, Hilda T. Good night, John Brown. Mary, good night to you too. And good night, Queen Victoria. Und ja, so I have a German accent, yeah. What is it to you? Nothing. I'm just saying. It's okay if you have a German accent, even though you're the Queen of England. It's okay. Everybody has an accent. Anyway, I shouldn't make fun of Queen Victoria. Good night, Hazel Jones. I know that's right. Vicky Chavez says I'm praying for everyone and myself. Okay, cheers, everyone. Good night. Love you guys.